fans, welcome back to part 3 of our interview with Jake Retzlaff. So good conversation's been flowing so far. Go back and watch part 1 and part 2 if you haven't already. Just getting to know Jake a little bit better about his background, how he ended up at BYU. I'm glad you're at BYU, man. You're my guy.
Me too, man.
I mean, you live in the house that I lived in for like a year.
Yeah.
Like that's deeper than blood.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna, kind of attack the angle more of football.
Sounds good.
We've kind of talked about it a little bit loosely, but people want to know about football.
Yep.
I mean, you're a new quarterback coming in, high status coming out of JUCO, and so coming into this spring ball, you unfortunately had an emergency tonsil surgery.
Yeah.
And so what kind of setback did that have for you?
The tonsil thing was something that I had to deal with since December, but it did end up flaring up pretty bad, so I had to get that emergency surgery. And the worst part about that surgery is it had ridiculous amount of complications that required another surgery and another procedure even after that. And so it's been brutal to kind of get back from that, and it was really a 3-week journey to get back from that and to start to feel healthy again, and lost a ton of weight. And so I'm working to put that back on and stuff. And where I thought I was going to miss a week of spring ball max or a couple days max, I ended up missing 2 weeks. But the good thing is I'm back now and actually have my first full practice today, which was good. And so while there's a little bit of a setback for sure, it's nothing I haven't overcome before. So,
what kind of goals do you have for spring ball? Because we only have about 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
Like 2.5, 3 weeks. So that's not a lot of time. What do you hope to accomplish by the time you finish?
That's a good question. As a quarterback, for me, I'm always striving to put myself in the best position to, be the starting quarterback. And obviously, we got a guy, Keaton Slovis, who's transferred from USC and Pitt in the building right now. And he's a great quarterback. And so my goal right now is to play the best football I can right now, get bigger, faster, and stronger, which is big, especially because of that setback. And in pushing myself to be the best I could be, I'm going to push Keaton and hopefully make him a better player at the same time. And so if I get an opportunity, I'm going to just do the best I can with that opportunity.
Yeah. So coming into, into BYU with different kind of coaches, from JUCO to Division
Yes.
I, what kind of progress do you see yourself making because of these coaches?
The best thing is the attention to detail. With Coach A-Rod and my position coach, Coach Matt Mitchell, we're always working hard, and we're always focusing on something. And the good thing is, not only am I watching my own tape and breaking myself down and breaking the way I threw the ball, the way I did this, my footwork and whatnot, somebody else is doing it at the same time about me specifically. And, to the point where I might get a phone call 3 hours after practice where he already watched the tape and called me about something and, about how I did this or how I did that and how it can be better, or talk about why I did what. And so it's cool. It's cool to have that, attention to detail where it's lacked at the JUCO level just because of straight up funding and stuff like that. They can't get guys to coach so specifically and so well because the good coaches get, the jobs at Division I level. So, but it's been great. It's been great that I get that kind of attention to detail and that kind of support from coaches.
What kind of things are you working on right now to shift your game to that next level?
Right now, especially being in the BYU offense, a funny term that you don't hear a lot in football is ball handling. For us, that basically means just working under center, play action stuff, where we're setting the pocket and, moving the ball around, whether it's a jet sweep or faking a jet sweep and stretch, or faking a jet sweep and play action, spread out. It's just all that kind of stuff. And that's been kind of new to me. I've always been a shotgun guy. I've done play action stuff before, but not as much as here especially. So it's that's kind of the focus for me in spring ball. And of course, getting bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah. So what I hear a lot from transfers coming into our school is that just like jets, we run them an unbelievable amount.
Yeah.
Is that something that kind of like messes you up or like gets you like kind of out of your groove?
I wouldn't say out of my groove, but like I said, it's not something that I've done a lot. People run jet sweeps once every 4 games everywhere else, but here we're running them all the time. And I think it's cool. I think it's cool with the misdirection and the stuff we do. It's just a new piece, that I'm adding to my arsenal, and it's cool the way the way Coach has us reading it and the way we look at it and stuff like that. And so it hasn't thrown me off, I wouldn't say at all, because it's just football. I've done this before, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something new, and it's definitely something cool, and I like the way it works within our offense.
So from the end of spring ball, going to off season, come fall camp, what kind of progress do you want to see physically or mentally? Or what do you want to be at starting fall camp?
Starting fall camp, I feel like I need to kind of own this offense by then. I know it now, and I feel like I can do a good job functioning in the offense. I feel like I can do that, but by fall camp, I feel like I need to own this offense and make it mine to a certain extent. And that's kind of a funny thing that Coach A-Rod does, is he's always been able to tweak this offense a little bit to each quarterback he has, whether it's Jaron or Zach in the past few years. So that's kind of my goal for that. And the chemistry with the guys is also huge. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so say, just in a hypothetical world, football doesn't exist. So eventually, or even just eventually, your football career is going to come to an end.
Yeah.
When you look back, what do you want your football career to have been like?
Man. That's a good question. I think, when it's all said and done, looking back on it, I want to make sure that I took advantage of every opportunity I got. That, man, that's tough. I just, I want to be able to look back and know that I did things, the right way and with the team. I feel like the last few years, 3 locker rooms in 3 different years. I feel like in those locker rooms that I've done a good job being able to kind of own the locker room and be able to develop relationships to the point where, when we're speaking, that guys are listening, kind of thing. And I think relationships are huge, and in the game of football, it's really underrated. And I think it makes a difference at the end of the day with teams winning championships, with relationships with the guys. I think building those kind of relationships is something that is kind of overlooked within the game of football. And I think that's going to be a really cool aspect for it, especially because I bet you some guys in our locker room are going to go on and might not go to the next level in football, but they're going to be millionaires at some point because, they got the BYU education, they're really smart guys. And so looking back on my football career, I hope that it's involved in my life career. I hope that I can be able to integrate what I'm doing in football, what I'm learning in football, in the rest of my life and that kind of thing. So, without talking about like, I want to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, because who doesn't want to be a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of a goal and kind of something that there is to think about and understand that, of course, football is not everything, but can you make it, touch every part of your life? So, yeah.
That's way deeper than I thought I was going to go. That's awesome. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then so, kind of, I was going to ask it earlier, but I kind of switched questions in the middle of my sentence. So say football doesn't exist, what would you be doing?
Playing baseball.
Baseball.
That's the truth. I couldn't get away from sports as it is, and maybe I'd be golfing or something dumb like that. But I'd be playing sports some way or another. And like I said, I loved baseball. And so that's probably what I'd be doing at this point.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Jake. I appreciate your time. Cougar Nation, we appreciate you. I'm sure Jake appreciates you as well.
Appreciate you guys. Like no tomorrow. You guys don't even know yet.
Is there anything you want to say to our Cougar fans out there? Right into that camera right there.
Man, come support us through every aspect. March 31st, come watch that spring game. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fun. We're going to be having a lot of fun out there, and you guys will have fun if you come to the game too. But, man, I'm looking forward to being a part of this legacy that you guys have built. So come support Cougar Nation.
Appreciate you, Jake. My guy.
Appreciate you, man.
Cougar fans, thank you for watching. Be sure to go back and watch part 1 and part 2 if you haven't already. Some good stuff, getting to know Jake. He's looking bright, gonna have a good future here at BYU, and just a good guy, good friend. So I appreciate you, Jake. Appreciate you, Cougar fans.
Man.
Thanks for watching this part 3. Thank you for watching this interview. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss the other 2 parts of this interview, plus all of our other interviews we do with BYU athletes. We also like to give a special thanks to our Cougar Board insiders for making this possible.